Hello, welcome back to the channel. Thanks for joining me again back here on Northwest Auto Adventures. So yeah, welcome back. Thanks for joining me again. We're getting into some fun stuff today. So we're gonna do, unfortunately, this. So my 335D has been having a weird vibration at idle thing lately. So not sure really what the deal was with it, but I did a little bit of research. Well, not research physically, but on the car. And come to find out, this guy right here is actually chunked out and broken off. So I'm thinking that that's what happened. So there's a really big dip or like a buckle in the road on my route to and from work every day. And so on occasion it hits pretty hard on, of course, the driver's side. So I'm pretty sure that whole action at some point just broke the aluminum on my motor mount. So what we're gonna do is actually take and replace this bracket. So it doesn't look very easy to do, unfortunately. So it's gonna be a fun one. So yeah, again, thanks for joining me. There's a few prerequisite things you're gonna need for this A experience, but B, you're gonna need an engine support bar. That would be a must-have for this one. You can use a jack from underneath, but it's not very nice to your engine, so I'd recommend getting yourself an engine support bar set up. Most people are gonna do it this way. So if you haven't ever really worked on Beamers, again, make sure you have lots of Torx bits, things like that. You're gonna need that, but we'll get into that. You'll see as we go. So yeah, crappy Harbor Freight support bar, but it works. Again, you got an engine bracket right here at the front. That'll work really well to support it. And our freaking ridiculously tight spot point that we're getting to is all the way down here. So I left my flashlight on there. That's funny. So I'll show you really quick here. Oh my gosh, too many flashlights. Okay, so I left it on. Shoot. There's new batteries for that. That's all right. Okay, looks like all my flashlights are dead. Aye. Figures. Okay, so sorry about that. Blinded by the light. Okay, so we'll get. Better look at this really quick here so you can see. So you see it down there? Big old chunk missing off it. It's a bit chunky, unfortunately. I dinged it. Come on. You can see it right there. All the way down here. So right here. Big old chunk missing off that mount down there. Okay, you can see it. I'm just gonna get you right there. Yeah, I'm really not sure how that happened. Just like chunked it right off of there. Weird. So, methinks that that's gonna be our vibration. So we're gonna get in there, see what we can do. Hopefully I can get this thing out and in a timely fashion. So yeah, thanks for joining me. Let's get to it. Not sure how good of a view I can get for you here, but we'll see. So, tight spot down here. It's gonna be kind of funky to get at. But I think it is gonna be pretty doable. I've never done this one before, so I'm not really sure. And there's just no good place to put this. I don't wanna break my dipstick. Jeez. Okay. So there's 3 big old bolts on it. So we're just gonna see what we can do to get that guy out of there. Not sure I'm gonna be able to get you much of a view, but we'll see. So first off, we're gonna move this guy. Best I can do, I'm gonna loosen him up, pull it off of there, get it out of the way so I can get better access and everything here, but yeah, it's not gonna be super fun. Make sure you monitor where this guy is so that it doesn't get spun around, end up the wrong way. And also don't let it loose. Don't like spin this a bunch when you get off there, because you don't want to spin your steering wheel because it will damage your clock spring. Clock spring's that mechanism behind your steering wheel. Connects all your electrical components, so definitely don't want to damage that. I'm not sure if I'm going to have to pull all these coolant lines off or what. Hopefully not. I mean, we're going to have to disconnect them for sure, but whether or not to work around, I don't know. You guys are kind of pioneering with me. There isn't really much for information on this on the internet. A little bit on the forums, but that's about it. Gotta make sure I don't get wedged against the wall. That'll be fun. Okay, watch. So will come on. Shake it, baby. I'm shaking it. Whew. Workout today. Oh. Okay. Good time to check your little U-joint there. So there's not a ton of play in that. That's okay. Well, it should tell us go to a point, but that's all we need. Okay. So the bolt holds this guy on, the bolt holds this guy on. We get out of there, and then hopefully those will move enough we can snake that out of there. I think should be able to unbolt the thing and just kind of come up and out with it. It's gonna be interesting though. I've never done this one, so hang around with me. One is up, way up there. How the heck do I even get to that guy? It's kind of flying blind a bit here because I can't hardly see these guys. I see the one all the way to the left and see the one all the way to the right. I can't really see the top one at all. Look, it's somewhere way down there. So where? That's a good question. Okay, you guys are saying pretty good question. We shall find out. All right, people. I'm gonna bring you back after I get this loose because this is ridiculous. Okay, so I found it. So literally like that. Straight onto it. Okay, so back at it. You know, hopefully my mounts are good. Alright people, we are like 1 bolt or 2 away from getting this thing out of here. You really can't see crap, can you? It sucks. Well, it's always hard to find a good angle for... I'll give you guys the point of view I have, because I can see what I'm after, but for whatever reason, it's just ridiculously hard to get to where you can see what I'm after. There you go. Got it. So you can really see it. It's like it's chunked out. Okay. Whew, weird. It's funky. I don't know how that went down. That's so weird. So there's your side by side again. Chunkies. It's a big old chunk too. And so one wonders, did it just get hammered by the... Hammered because it was cracked already? Like hammered because my mount went bad? I don't know. Very weird. Nice to know, but... Yeah, the mount seems fine. Maybe it was just bolted in there funky, I'm not sure. Yeah, the mount seems fine. That is funky. Well, shoot. Okay. Thankfully it wasn't incredibly difficult. It was kind of funky. Oh, so let's go back in. In there better. There we go. Okay. There we go. Hopefully we didn't damage anything. That's always the question. Did I hurt anything else in the process? Hopefully not. Damn, there's legit pieces of wood from... Damn. That's crazy. I'm gonna go ahead and assume that thing was probably damaged from the first guy that owned this car. The first guy actually drove this thing into a ditch. Hence why it's 3 colors. Wow, okay, coming back. Okay, we're back. Okay, so that was a pain in the butt. That was an unreal pain in the butt. So let me show you what I ended up having to do. So I removed the coolant bottle. I removed the power steering pump over here, just move that all out of the way. You can move this hose up and out of the way to get it out of your way. Remove all of the hoses and things in here out of the way. Finally got it in. So yeah, the bolts kept trying to go sideways on me. That was the main thing. Ended up having to push the engine up too. Whoops, I'll have to fix that. Ended up having to push the engine up. I had to literally push the engine up to get this thing in there correctly. Pulled the power steering rack down. Had to pull the power steering rack bolts out and shove the rack that way so that you can fit your hand up in there. But yeah, otherwise bolts out, shove this side in so you can get your hand up there. Yeah, that was no fun. Otherwise we did manage to get it in there. Worked a lot from back at this angle and just kind of working your way around. But yeah, you can see from down here the mount pretty well. You can get through kind of moving your arm around this way up here to get to it. But I got the bottom left bolt in first, And I got that bolt over there in, and then I did the third one last. And I haven't put the note on top yet. But yeah, just to give you an idea, again, of what's all involved in this thing. Whoop! Excuse me. So, yeah, mounts in. I'm just gonna reverse order, put all this stuff back together. Get a little bit of details going back together here. Ooh, good. Cool. So we're started. I already tightened the motor. I already tightened this big bolt down, so just down to that little bolt now. Which I think was like a 13 or 12. Just gonna have it back in. Tight. Okay. So just double checking here. Is it back in place and tight? That's tight. That's tight, that's tight. We're gonna get the column back in. And then that's not winding. Not really. Okay, so we gotta get the column back in. And just a few other things. And I had to remove all this tank stuff out of the way too. So I found a vacuum cap. I'm like, crap, I wonder where that came from. Hope I didn't induce a vacuum leak somewhere by accident. Back in. Back, these back. This goes back on there. Smells right on the top of it. And okay, and there you have it. That pretty much wraps it up. I think we got it all. Oh, yeah, the steering column. Yeah, it's probably somewhat important. So don't forget to tighten this guy back up. This guy back up. So again, making sure. Man, that light is really not helping us there. There we go. Okay. So yeah, we just gotta make sure we get this back in place. Making sure to just push it in real quick. Line up the tang. Again, be careful not to spin this thing unnecessarily. I'm trying to get the door to get out of your way a little bit here. Find the right spot for it. Okay.